In order to understand PKI, public key infrastructure, we firstly need to understand the concepts of symmetric and asymmetric cryptography, along with digital certificates. So, to fully explain all of this, I will use an analogy of Antonio's Pizza Place. Oh, yeah! This is Antonio, and his pizzas are super fantastic. And he is getting 5 stars and raving reviews. So decides to take his pizza business online, but realizes he needs some cybersecurity in the form of digital certificates, aka SSL or TLS. These certificates provide secure connections using various encryption ciphers and techniques, which is what makes the secure padlock icon appear in the URL browser tab. Keynote digital certificates should conform to the X.509 international standard. This standard requires various subject information and verification processes, all of which you can see from your browser by clicking the secure padlock icon. Key technical note: it is important to understand the digital certificate chain of trust, which starts with the end-to-end certificate, aka server cert, for AntoniosPizzaPlace.com. This certificate contains Antonio's public server key, which you can think of as the pizza shop public key. The rest of the chain of trust relies on the certificate authority, CA, verifying that Antonio's public key is indeed his, which happens when Antonio purchases the SSL certificate, which requires various enrollment and verification processes that the CA certificate authority approves before granting their endorsement, aka sign of approval, by digitally signing Antonio's certificate with the root CA key, which is trusted by all browsers across the world using various approved global lists. Think of the certificate authority as the king who approves Antonio's website and uses a middleman known as an intermediate certificate to create a secure chain by signing certificates with the CA's private key, which would correspond and validate the public key of the CA, which is placed in both the intermediate and the root certificate. Private keys always remain private, they are never shared. So any break in this chain of trust is because the asymmetric key pairs creating this digital signature have been compromised. Or the website is not Antonio's Pizza Place, but a malicious website pretending to be such. You cannot forge a certificate authority's certificate chain. This is why you often see the broken padlock in some websites, with the browser displaying various warnings that this connection is not secure. Although sometimes it can be because the certificate has expired and Antonio forgot to renew. Certificate authorities have a very important global job of keeping and protecting their own private keys to preserve the trust in public key infrastructure. So, to further expand and illustrate the concept of public and private keys, think of the 2 pizzas that Antonio is going to serve. These 2 pizzas form the bill, which you can think of as the public key. You know your bill, you know your order, you know your pizza. But remember, asymmetric encryption consists of a pair of corresponding keys. One needs the other. So, whilst everybody may know your bill, not everybody knows the card or payment method that you will pay with. After all, you might lose the public paper bill or receipt used to pay. However, you will always have your bank transaction from the payment method you use to settle the bill, which you can use in the future to correspond one with the other. To apply this principle to the earlier example, imagine that the paper bill and the payment card is what goes into the certificates in the certificate chain of trust. Now, to recap, let's put this all together. Imagine that we are going onto Antonia's Pizza Place and we click the secure padlock icon and look at the SSL certificate, aka digital certificate, that the browser displays. You would be able to see the digital chain of trust. In this example, the certificate authority is VeriSign, and there is a VeriSign root certificate and a VeriSign intermediate certificate, and then the end-to-end certificate of AntoniosPizzaPlace.com, which has all the information about Antonio's pizza shop. To make the analogy very clear, imagine the public key is the paper bill which goes into each of the three certificates. Everyone on the internet can see this. However, what they can't see is the certificate authority's credit card, which is used to pay for each of these bills across these three certificates that form the chain of trust. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if not already. And thank you to everyone for your support this year so far. Having only started this channel in January 2025, I am sincerely humbled by all the kind comments and growth we are experiencing. Thank you, everybody.